Billahi wa tallahi, saya Abdullah bin Haji Ahmad Badawi dengan sesungguhnya bersumpah bahawa saya tidak akan memberitahu atau menzahirkan kepada sesiapa sama ada secara langsung atau secara tidak langsung apa-apa perkara yang dibawa untuk pertimbangan saya atau yang akan diketahui oleh saya sebagai seorang Perdana Menteri kecuali sebagaimana yang mungkin dikehendaki untuk menunaikan dengan sempurna kewajipan-kewajipan saya sebagai
Aku cari bukan harta bertimbun-timbun untuk jadi kaya. Aku cari bukan wang berjuta-juta untuk hidup bergaya.
Aku hidup kerana dia Rabbi. Dialah teman. Dialah wali. Dia mencukupi. Aku hidup berarti menikmati damai abadi.
Malaysia, formerly Malaya or Tanah Melayu, gained independence on August 31, 1957 under Tunku Abdul Rahman, establishing a democratic constitutional monarchy. Since then, 10 Prime Minister have guided its path. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, the 5th Prime Minister from 2003 to 2009, known as Pak Lah, emphasized integrity, moderation and inclusivity. With a background in Islamic study, he introduced Islam Hadari, strengthened anti-corruption measure and prioritized education and agriculture. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, formerly known as Pak Lah, was born on 26th of November 1939 in Bayan Lepas, Penang. Raised by a respected Islamic scholar, he became a leader guided by humility, faith and compassion. He served as Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister from 2003 to 2009 and is remembered as the father of human capital development, championing integrity, knowledge and Islam Hadari, a vision that balanced faith with modern governance. Beyond politics, Pak Lah was a reflective soul. His poem, I Seek Eternal Peace, revealed his deep moral values. His life was marked by personal loss with the passing of his first wife, Tun Datin Paduka Seri Endun Mahmud, before finding strength with Tun Datin Paduka Seri Jane Abdullah in 2007. In his later years, he battled dementia and passed away on 14th of April 2025, laid to rest at the Heroes Mausoleum. Pak Lah is remembered as a gentle leader who served the nation with heart. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi's leadership was shaped by a strong academic foundation rooted in Islamic values and good governance. Born into a family of respected scholars in Penang, his education began at Sekolah Kebangsaan Permatang Bertam, followed by a Penang Methodist Boys' School. From a young age, he showed leadership qualities, serving as president of the Penang and Seberang Primary Student Association in 1957. He later graduated from the University of Malaya with a Bachelor of Arts honours in Islamic Studies in 1964. This blend of religious and secular education influenced his vision for ethical leadership and public service, earning him recognition through honorary doctorates and leaving a lasting impact on Malaysia's education and governance. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi joined UMNO in 1965 and became MP for Kepala Batas in 1978, serving over 3 decades. Rising through party ranks, he became Deputy President in 2000 and succeeded Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad as Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister in 2003. Known as the father of human capital development, he promoted ethics, integrity and Islam Hadari. His administration launched the National Integrity Plan, set up the Malaysia Institute of Integrity and transformed the Anti-Corruption Agency into the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission in 2009. He also introduced Regional Economic Corridor to reduce disparity and held key ministerial posts in education, defence, foreign affairs and home affairs. Pak Lah's legacy is one of moderation, integrity and reform. The introduction of Islam Hadari by Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi in 2004 marked a significant shift in the image of Islam in Malaysia. Islam Hadari promoted a balanced and a progressive interpretation of Islam by emphasizing social justice, economic development, and a good governance, while firmly rejecting extremist narrative. Under Pak Lah's leadership, Islam Hadari evolved into a national framework that supported ethical governance and human capital development. Institutions such as the Institute of Islam Hadari were established to integrate contemporary education with traditional Islamic learning. Through this approach, Abdullah Badawi envisioned Malaysia as a model of moderate Islam civilization, one that harmonizes tradition with modernity, promotes compassion and ethnic harmony, and strengthens Islam's role in modern governance. In 2004, Prime Minister Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi launched the National Integrity Plan to build a corruption-free government rooted in ethics and transparency. He established the Malaysian Institute of Integrity to monitor integrity, while the Anti-Corruption Academy became a regional training hub. The Integrity Institute of Malaysia advanced education, advocacy and research, promoting accountability across sectors. In 2009, the Anti-Corruption Agency was rebranded as the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, granting independence in the fight against corruption. This initiative embodied Tun Abdullah's vision of integrity, ethics and good governance for Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nordayini and I will present about one of the contribution of Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi included media freedom and political openness. The first is the freedom of the media. During the Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi administration from 2003 until 2009, a realization of controls on the media was implemented compared to the previous era. For example, his government is strict restrictions on the mainstream media, allowed for broader public discussion and criticism, and gave space to print and digital media to operate without undue pressure. This included more open discussion of policy issues in both electronic and print media. As a result, greater media freedom helped the people receive different information not because of the control of the administrator. Besides, laws such as the Printing Presses and Publications Act remain in force, but the enforcement has been relaxed. National Malay language newspapers such as Utusan Melayu and Berita Harian have been given freedom to report on current issues and express opinions that were previously considered too critical. These measures have allowed a variety of political perspectives to appear in the mainstream media, giving citizens access to a wider range of information on national issues. Next, I will present about the strengths of leadership of Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi during his administrations. The first is Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi emphasis on integrity and ethics in government. He introduced the National Integrity Plan in 2004, which aims to instill a culture of integrity in all levels of society and the public sector. Second is Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi introduced Islam Hadari, a progressive, inclusive and moderate approach to Islam, aimed at combining religious values with social, economic and political developments. Finally, Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi encouraged openness in the media and political discourse. He gave some realization to the media and space for citizens to express political views more freely. This allowed for the exchange of ideas to take place in society, increase political awareness, and build a more mature democratic.
As the saying goes, every rose has its thorn, and despite Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi's good intention and clean image, his leadership also had clear weaknesses that shaped how his premiership ended. When Tun Abdullah became Prime Minister, many people believed he would bring real change. He came in with a strong reform agenda and a reputation for integrity, especially through efforts like the Royal Commission of Inquiry on the Police and the proposed IPCMC. However, once he started pushing these reforms, he faced strong resistance from conservative UMNO leaders and long-established bureaucratic system. And because of this pressure, many reforms were weakened or completely dropped. Even his own reform-minded advisors, such as Syed Ibrahim, struggled to move ideas forward, showing that Tun Abdullah did not have strong backing within his own party to protect and support these changes. His leadership style also played a role in these challenges. Tun Abdullah preferred discussion, compromise, and ethical persuasion rather than using political force. While this approach reflected his values, it made it difficult for him to challenge powerful patronage networks that has existed for years within UMNO and state institutions. At the beginning, his anti-corruption campaign gained massive public support, especially after his big election win in 2004, but the momentum slowly fades when investigations started moving closer to UMNO's top leaders. This exposed the close relationship between politics and business, making deep reform extremely difficult. Tun Abdullah's calm and non-confrontational leadership style, which was once praised, eventually became a weakness.
During the 6 years period he was appointed as the fifth Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Abdullah has grasped many opportunities surrounding him for the betterment of the governance and the people's welfare. Famously known as Mr. Clean for his honest, transparent and corruption-free tenure ever since he was practicing politics, Tun Abdullah has gained huge support from the public. After the strict and firm leadership of Tun Dr. Mahathir, the people desired for a more lenient and moderate governance. The image of high integrity and religious leadership that has been synonymous with Tun Abdullah made the citizens believe in his credibility to be the leader of the country. When he was appointed as the Prime Minister, Malaysian economic landscape during that time was already progressing and balancing after the ASEAN financial crisis. Under the ruling of Tun Mahathir, Malaysia was already pursuing industrial development, especially in the automotive industry, coupled with effective economic and modernization policies. This positive climate of the economy allowed Tun Abdullah to continue the efforts initiated by the previous government, but most importantly to address the lack of attention given to the rural areas development. Malaysia's established relationship with neighboring countries and nations across the world through the involvement in various global associations such as ASEAN, OIC, and NAM opened the door for Tun Abdullah to further strengthen the country's diplomacy with effective foreign policy. These global opportunities were utilized by Tun Abdullah to improve the country's foreign affairs. Despite the short period served as the Prime Minister, Tun Abdullah still faced numerous challenges and issues which threatened his position. The growing internal conflicts going on in the political party he led, which was UMNO, can be seen when many politicians from the same party, including Tun Dr. Mahathir himself, were urging the Prime Minister to step down from his position. The first Bersih rally, Walk for Justice demonstration, as well as a march organized by Hindraf against Indian marginalization, further challenged the harmony among the people. These rallies shaped the public's opinion regarding his governance from a strong successor of Mahathir to a shaky government with multiple internal and external problems. With progression in new media, there are increased number of misinformation and speculations made. People of interest use news portals such as Malaysia Kini to spread triggering issues like conflicts among different races, disintegrity in the election process, as well as so-called shadow figures that influence Tun Abdullah's stance and decisions. These threats and challenges led to the resignation of the father of human capital development, ending his short tenure as Malaysian fifth Prime Minister of 6 years. Tun Abdullah left office officially on April 2, 2009, handing the reins of the government to Datuk Seri Najib Abdul Razak.
From a political leadership perspective, as the saying goes, not all glitters is gold. Allahyarham Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi's leadership appeared to be gentle and quiet, especially when compared to the strong, dominant, and dictatorship style of his predecessor, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. To some, this softness was mistaken for weakness. However, in reality, Tun Abdullah led with integrity, calmness, and a deep belief that leadership should be guided by moral and ethical values. He understood that true development was not only about economic growth, but also about well-being, unity, and values of society. One of the most defining features of his leadership was the introduction of Islam Hadari. This approach aimed to balance modern progress with moral responsibility and moderation. It is not about imposing religion, but about applying universal values such as honesty, justice, and balance in governance. His clean reputation earned him the title Mr. Clean, while his phrase, "work with me, not for me," reflected his belief in teamwork and shared leadership rather than authoritarian control. Tun Abdullah also brought a calmer political climate to Malaysia. His leadership encouraged dialogue, reduced political tension, and gave more space for public discussion and civil society. This created a political environment that felt more open and humane. Many respected him for being approachable and fair, gaining admiration not only from his own party but also from the opposition. However, this openness came with challenges. His soft and consultative approach made it difficult to push reforms through a system resistant to change. While hopes for reform were high, results were often slow and limited, increased openness, and also raised public expectation and criticism. In the end, Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi should be remembered not as a weak leader, but also as a principled one who chose values over force. His leadership reminds us that especially young student leaders, that integrity and humility and humbleness matter, but they must be balanced with firmness and strength to make lasting changes. To conclude, Allahyarham Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi's leadership marked a unique period in Malaysia's political history. He led with integrity, moderation, and a strong focus on developing people, not just the economy. Through ideas like Islam Hadari and his push for ethical governance, he showed that leadership should be guided by values and responsibility. Although his soft and consensus drive style faced strong resistance and limited the impact of some reforms, his intentions were sincere. Tun Abdullah should be remembered not as a weak leader, but as a principled one who believes that true national progress begins with strong values and empowered people. Al-Fatiha.